Hey folks, if you've been looking for a foreclosed property here in Utah, as you've been looking for maybe a more motivated type seller, well, let's talk about how you find a foreclosed property in today's market and what my experience has been. My name is Justin Udy with Justin Udy and Team Real Estate. I've been selling real estate for almost 20 years now, and I've personally purchased foreclosed properties. I've personally purchased those types of projects. We've bought them, we've renovated them, we've put them on the market. We've been able to hold some properties, and I'll tell you, they are a great opportunity. Now, we didn't even have foreclosed homes that were really coming on the market. In fact, I remember looking at an article and it said they were making up 0.03% of the market. I mean, they were so minuscule just because people's values, one year values went up as high as 26% in a year. It's really hard for people to essentially lose a property, when they have so much equity and they can sell it. But what I will tell you on foreclosed properties, unfortunately, most folks that are in financial distress or having those issues, they typically don't want to let people know. And sometimes they don't want to put them on the market, even with equity. And so there is some good opportunity. So real quick, let's just go through a couple quick points that I personally use, that I've used with clients as we purchased these properties. I mean, one of the properties that I had, frankly, I still own today. The property that I essentially built a property on, I still have that property. So just know that it is a good market, but it has to be done correctly. And I have seen folks where it's gone the other way and it has not worked out the way they wanted. So let's just go over that really quick. So number one, you want to go with somebody and make sure that you understand not only the property, but you're working with somebody that understands those types of projects. Obviously, I'm speaking with you about this because I have personal experience as well as working with clients, but you just want to make sure you're aligning yourself with professionals at all times. Now, there's two reasons. One, so you understand the market. Two, you understand the dynamics of the sticks and bricks of that property, because oftentimes that comes to our next point, is you really got to understand what are the details in regards to that home and what do you need to know about them. Oftentimes in a foreclosed property, to find those properties, you're working with a professional. You can get it off of websites. There's lists that are provided not only from banks and different types of credit unions and HUD and so forth, that they provide their list. But there's also, when properties go on the market, the real estate folks like myself have the ability to search and find those properties. When it gets to the point of when you're located at the property, just know oftentimes they're locked, you can't get in, depending on if you're going to the courthouse steps, which I purchased at the courthouse steps, or if they have gone through the foreclosure process, nobody purchased at the courthouse steps, and then you can sometimes access that property. So just know there's those two worlds, okay? I'm gonna go with the stance of don't have the cash on hand, you are not going to the courthouse steps. I'm going from the standpoint of, it went through that procedure, it is a foreclosed property, so now we have the chance to tour it, okay? If you have questions on the other stuff, please let me know and I will speak with you directly. In regards to when you have a property that we have gone through or walked through, just be aware that those properties become as is. What does as is mean? They do not warrant anything in that property because they do not know what has happened or occurred or anything in the past. In fact, they have, there's a disclaimer that you will sign basically saying you hold us harmless in regards to any details in regards to this property. So therefore your due diligence is absolutely critical. Meaning, not on a normal house, we typically will do for sure a home inspection. But on these properties, if they will allow us to, we're trying to exhaust those items because we don't know what's going on with the sewer, with the electrical, the plumbing, the roof, all of those details. So we typically tend to get in the weeds a little bit more. We want a thorough understanding of the property because there will not be seller's disclosures that are disclosing defects or things or history of the past of that property, since now it has passed from an owner to a lender or a bank or somebody else that had the note on that property. The deed has now transferred, okay? And then the final item is that when you're doing your due diligence and you've thoroughly inspected that property, make sure that you have all of your financing and everything ready. The reason is this, folks, they don't mess around. When you have dates and deadlines, they expect you to meet those. Your money oftentimes is non-refundable earnest money. So you want to just make sure if there's problems or issues or something happening, you take those care of in advance. Here's some quick statistics for you to be aware of. In the last month, we had 307 homes that foreclosed in the state of Utah. Of those homes, just so you know, we were ranked 17th in the nation for the amount of foreclosed homes. The counties that those existed in was Tooele, Utah County, and Garfield County. So a little bit suburban, or not urban type properties, like where they're a little bit farther away. Utah County is obviously close, but what I'll say, if you want a really good property, foreclose is a great option. But I will always tell you, motivated sellers. In dealing with folks and properties and different things, I would always say foreclose is a great option. But really what we're looking for is motivated people. And I will tell you, the deal of a decade, comes along once a week. There is great opportunities out there. Oftentimes I'm saying, look, if you want to invest in a property, make sure it's the right investment. Make sure the rent rates are there. Make sure those make sense. If you're going to live there, let's make sure it's in a neighborhood where you feel safe. Sometimes the foreclosed home isn't a property where you actually want to raise your family. So let's make sure we do balance that. So there's a few other dynamics that go with it, but what I will tell you is it's a great market. We aren't seeing a lot of foreclosed homes. We are seeing some, unfortunately, as we see some maybe more layoffs and people losing jobs, we'll see a little bit more. But I will say that with making sure you find the right property, doing the right due diligence, making sure your financing is truly in order, and just understanding those market dynamics and what that property is will really help you with success. Again, it's Justin Udy. Thank you so much. If you need anything, please reach out. If you want any details in regards to how we do this, how we're finding them, how we're buying them, maybe recommendations on the things that we renovate or whatever, please let me know, and we're here to serve you. Thank you.